So it's been a busy week in America with just more bullshit.
Your
It's
face
just
is
bullshit.
twitching.
It's just bullshit.
Your face is twitching.
Is it? No, it's not.
Yes, it was. Look at the camera. I'm not lying.
No, it's not.
He went like this. It's America.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, so yeah, there's just more distraction and shit going on.
Seems like
with the you know the FBI and Donald Trump and shit, and like raiding Donald Trump's fucking house. I mean, what?
Now he's black.
What? Yeah, exactly. What an absolute fucking act of complete desperation. They have tried everything with this guy.
I think they shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, they
Did
should.
you see that thing? I mean, I'm not going to say it's directly related, but maybe a little bit is the dude in Cincinnati who went and shot up.
The one shot
well,
an
he
FBI
shot at it with a nail gun.
Yeah, he shot at the FBI.
Then they killed him, man.
Did they kill the guy?
He's dead.
I didn't read the whole article.
They did, but he actually did have like a assault rifle with him.
Oh, right.
He had a nail gun that he shot at the building at, then later he did
I
he
saw
hit in a cornfield.
Okay, I saw the thing about the nail gun, and I was like, okay, this guy's not. I mean, you know,
He
he's
had-
not. You know, he's not a master fucking conspirator against. You
Yeah,
know what I
but
mean?
you don't need to do mass conspirator if you have an AR-15 with you.
Well, true, but I mean, everybody in America's got an AR-15 now at this stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought it was a really stupid fucking thing to do, and like, you know, and this notion that like now all of a sudden like all these right-wing dickheads want the FBI to be defunded, and they want like, you know, they've just noticed now that the FBI is like the most corrupt fucking organization ever, like. You know, like I've been pointing this shit out for fucking years, decades, man. I mean, like fucking, like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Fred Hampton, any of
Now
the
Donald Trump?
SDS, the labor movement, student nonviolent, all those like that COINTELPRO thing, where they're like blatantly break the law. They do whatever the fuck they want, and they're just a purely political tool of the establishment. And even like this time, they just went against the guy that these particular right-wing assholes happen to think is, you know, the most amazing thing since the fucking sun was invented. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is just, that's also something that I just completely don't understand. But yeah, listening to them go bleeding on about how like unfairly the FBI are treating people, it's a bit rich. I gotta be honest with you.
I get it.
Yeah,
I mean, but then, hold on, like, they didn't go into Trump's place, like, without any evidence. They had probable cause.
well, yeah, I mean, again,
I know what you're saying, but
Yeah,
I mean,
again,
he did
I
have
mean,
some shit on him.
they manufacture probable cause, like at the drop of a fucking hat.
True, but I mean, after all the times they've gotten him, I don't
I'm-
think they went in there like...
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Barack Obama has at least 2 boxes of fucking paperwork in his house. W. Bush has at least 2 boxes of paperwork in his house. Again, I'm back into this corner where it looks like I'm defending Trump, but I'm not actually defending Trump. I'm just saying, this is the first time they've ever done this to a president, like a former president of the United States. And I might add that this former president of the United States, the crimes he's alleged to have committed, like, they pale in comparison to the crimes that George W. Bush committed. I mean, I've said
And
this
probably Obama.
100 times. And Obama's done some horrendously fucked up shit.
Yeah,
I mean, killing American citizens without a trial. You know, like executing American citizens without a trial. He's done that, Obama. Anwar al-Awlaki in Yemen, killed him and his 16-year-old son, who were both American citizens. You know, so, but like this notion that the FBI can just go and fucking do that. I mean,
But I don't think they just
Are you
did.
telling me that there's no way they couldn't have fucking worked out with fucking lawyers? Look, give us the box of paperwork.
I think they did.
I don't think they fucking tried very.
But like,
fucking
you're
hard.
also not dealing with a fucking completely rational, sane human being.
And another thing I'll put in is like, do you think that Trump actually knows what was in any of those fucking boxes?
No, but who cares?
Yeah.
You were smart enough to become president. You might as well be smart enough to become president.
I'm sorry. I think it was totally wrong-headed thing to do.
I think it wasn't smart strategically.
It was politically really fucking stupid. And if anything, it's going to put Trump into a better position. It already has put him in a better position.
That's true.
I mean, he looks like he's being
Martyr.
persecuted.
You don't say martyr.
He looks like a martyr that he was being persecuted by the FBI, and he's got like a pretty, there's like enough evidence there to say, look, you have been after this guy from the minute he was elected, even before that. This whole like 4 years of like saying that he was a Russian agent, which is just like blatantly untrue, and it was blatantly untrue.
I know he deserves to be in jail, and I know it should be followed by the letter of the law. If that's fair,
Okay, yeah. But again,
I wouldn't say that you should put him in jail for nothing.
Again, putting Trump in jail. Like, if we're gonna put Trump in jail, we better get a few more cells fucking cleared, because we got a bunch more fucking people that need to go to jail.
Can we start with him?
I'd rather start with W. Bush, to be honest with you, because I mean, George W. Bush is responsible for the deaths of a million fucking people.
I mean, whatever way you
And
want
he
to say
gets to go home and fucking paint his horrible pictures in his shitty ranch in
I just don't
Texas.
think they're that bad.
They're horrible fucking pictures. Painting pictures of fucking like soldiers and fucking wounded soldiers and like Arabs who he fucking dispossessed of their property and their lives. That's what he's doing. This is his own personal fucking therapy. Anyway, like back onto the Trump thing. I think Trump is like in terms of crimes committed against fucking like whatever you want to say, the
Anybody who
Constitution.
saw his penis deserves it.
Well, yeah.
I'm joking. I don't think it's that serious. I think it was stupid. You're right.
I mean, what could those fucking papers possibly hold?
I don't know. They've already scared us with nuclear stuff.
The nuclear shit.
They scared us with that.
That's bullshit. You think Trump knows? First of all, like, can you imagine talk to him about nuclear secrets? Come on, man.
He doesn't read.
I mean, if he had a paper with nuclear secrets on it, there's probably ketchup and grease stains from the fucking McDonald's that he was eating while he was fucking looking at it.
No, he doesn't read.
He doesn't read. So, I mean, the notion that this guy had some fucking secret shit, and it was like in the basement, and it was like imperative for the sake of national security that you go in, all guns blazing, and jackbooted thugs go into an ex-president's fucking house and raid it, it's insanity.
No, you know what I think is?
Insanity.
I think as stupid as this shit is, and he's getting all these fucking idiots riled up, and they're gonna blow shit up and do dumb stuff. What's really interesting to me is like, we're dealing with some real crisis issues now.
Yeah.
We are. Like, I don't even care about this anymore.
No. I mean,
the ice.
yeah. I know. Yeah. I mean, we just had the woman was just in. Yeah.
But that's her livelihood, dude.
Yeah. And it costs now like the price of like making and storing ice has like quadrupled.
And that seems very basic.
Yeah. This is what this fucking shit is all about. Anyway, that's the first thing I said when we started talking about it, was that it's another distraction.
I mean,
and
we have lowest water levels in Europe in years.
Yeah, I know. Like the UK are in drought conditions because it got a little bit hot for a few weeks, and that's down to how fucking incredibly. I was watching a thing on the UK. They privatized the water in 1986, I think, and they haven't built a single reservoir since. This is what happens when we privatize. It's like this.
Pitching money.
They don't build.
And they don't do anything.
They don't do anything. Yeah.
They just collect the cash.
They just collect the money. You know what I mean? And then when it all breaks down, well, it's the government fucking jumps in and bails them out. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and then they continue to manage the situation.
Yeah, exactly. I was listening to another thing today about driverless cars. Like, apparently there's driverless cars in the States on the road.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, there is. I was listening to it on the blog today. Ralph Nader. You know Ralph Nader, famous guy who famously, you don't like him. Ralph Nader.
Yeah, we don't like Ralph Nader.
Why?
He's just annoying.
Yeah, but he's Ralph Nader. That's who he is, man. He's just always in your fucking face about like this and that.
Yeah, he's just always in your fucking face.
Yeah, but he's always right. He's always right. Anyway, he was interviewing a guy about these driverless cars. And they took this driverless car out, and he said, like, you have a driver there with the driverless car. It's like every 8 minutes the guy had to take over because the driverless car would have killed them.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's a Tesla, driverless cars.
Oh, fucking Tesla.
And the guy was saying, like, they're trying to get this part of the infrastructure bill. One of the things they were trying to get put into it was to have every traffic signal in the U.S. fitted with this thing like a communication device that could tell the car whether the light was red or green or yellow, right? But they wanted the government to pay for that so that they could put their driverless cars on the road so that they could make money off the driverless cars. But they wanted the government to pay for the infrastructure to put the driverless cars on the fucking road. You know,
and what, is that going to get passed soon?
It probably will. It probably will because you know, another thing he was saying was that the NHTSA, it's called the National Institute for Traffic Safety, National Traffic Safety Authority, or something like that.
Okay.
And they're, you know, it's a government agency, and they had this woman on who had once written an article about Tesla that was like an unfavorable article about Tesla, and like Elon Musk went fucking mental.
What the fuck did he ever do, by the way?
He doesn't do a goddamn thing.
No, but somebody explain it to me.
No, I can't. I don't know.
Do you not know?
No, I don't.
I just thought
Nobody
it was
knows.
stupid. I'm like,
Nobody
I'm
knows.
beyond Wikipedia this thing. I'm already done with this. Like, I don't. What do you do?
No, he's not done. He's not nothing. He's rich.
I don't get it.
He's rich.
He's like the Kim Kardashian of inventors.
Pretty much. Yeah. That's a good call. Kim Kardashian of inventors.
Even though like she's smart.
He's
I guess.
he's managed to like hodgepodge a load of shit together and take credit for all of it, but he hasn't actually really fucking done anything, right?
Right.
And you know, and a lot of his shit doesn't work.
Right.
Like the driverless cars. You know, and like the fact that he took Tesla's name without the fucking family's permission is fucking insane.
That's what I was about to say. Like, I'm like, who the fuck is? What does he do?
No one knows.
I feel like some crazy old person. You're just like, what are you doing here? What's
No one knows. No one knows. He's just Tesla. He's smart.
He's smart. He took that Tesla shit, and people were like, yeah, okay, Nikola Tesla shit.
Yeah, but I mean, but he's got these like he's got legions of fans who think he's just
No, super genius.
super genius, amazing, like.
The videos people take of him, like he's like looking at his spaceship.
I mean, the guy looks like and sounds like a fucking like stereotype type Bond villain from like the latest fucking 007 movie. But a really lame one from like, you know, like a View to a Kill or one of the really shitty Bond movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just like they really weren't even trying when they wrote the evil villain and they came up with Elon Musk. He's terrible. He doesn't fucking do anything.
Yeah, I just want to know what he did. That made him so.
I don't know. I mean, and that whole thing with him buying Twitter, that was just a massive publicity stunt.
Oh yeah, Twitter responded to that recently.
It was a massive publicity stunt.
They might like ride him out to make sure he has to close that deal.
All they can do is force him to perform on the contract, and you know, I can't see him do, but he's done the damage.
He's gonna pay him out, right?
The damage he's already done.
To Twitter.
Yeah, to Twitter.
Hardcore.
Yeah, it's already
I think
made
they're
it.
stupid.
So,
I think they're stupid.
yeah, because like they can try and compel him to perform his contract, but like if they don't,
they should pay him out. They should pay him out.
Walk away.
Yeah, no, they should get him for damages.
Yeah, and just walk away.
And
I'm sure that's what'll happen. They'll come up with a deal, and you know they'll do a deal. One of these things, it'll be in the news, and no money will change.
And it's
hands.
good that he's not buying it. To be fair.
I don't have Twitter, and so
I
I
don't have
don't give a shit.
I don't have to. No, but it is better.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, I think the whole Trump thing is like this whole Trump FBI raid thing. It's just another thing that they're going to be screaming and shouting at each other about for the next few weeks. And then what's going to happen is when the Republicans take over the House and Senate.
Can I ask you? Sorry, I'm not to interrupt you, but can I ask you a question? What do you think should happen to Trump? No, seriously.
Well, I think they should probably. I think they should probably prosecute him in federal court in New York for all the real estate
tax charges and everything. Like,
yeah, but I don't think what he did in the White House is particularly. I don't think they will prosecute him on that because, to be honest with you, every politician in Washington is as filthy dirty as he is in terms of that way.
So you think the presidential protection?
The presidential shit, they're not going to do anything about. But I think what they should be doing is actually, going after him for
tax
some of that
fraud.
shit that he did in New York when he was a real estate guy.
Like especially tax fraud.
Yeah, I don't know about the tax fraud thing because they all there's too much powerful money behind that. In that, like, if they do him for that, then they're going to have to do everybody else for that.
Regardless of like the optics and like what you think about, like if he could be put away for something. What would you think would be fair?
I would think
without political.
I would think that there's absolutely nothing that they're going to put him into prison for. There's nothing. I
This
don't
dude's
think.
gotta murder somebody.
I don't think. Yeah, I mean, he would have to. It would have to be that level.
Like
of,
literally, like
of
he
a
said,
crime.
shot somebody on Fifth Avenue.
Yeah, it would have to be that level of crime. But for what they've got, like even the things in New York, the New York shit, the real estate sort of swindling and the overinflating the value of his properties. You know, underinflating the value of his properties for tax purposes
And
overinflating
then
for the bank loans. That is something that every single property developer in New York does. But if they got him on that, and even if they got him on that and convicted him on, that's only going to be a fine. There won't be any jail time. There just won't be any jail time. They'll do a settlement, they'll come up with a deal, and there'll be a payout, there'll be a fine. I just don't see, I think trying to put him in jail is a waste of fucking time, and it's just not going to happen. And it's just like inflaming half. You gotta remember, 75 million fucking people voted for that guy.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? And then there's like, you know, on top of that 75 million, I'm sure there's like another 25 or 30 or 40 million who couldn't vote or were like too ignorant or lazy or whatever, had convictions or whatever, couldn't vote, that also would have voted for him. It's insanity to fucking, I mean, and they've kept him alive, basically. If they had just ignored him, and let this January 6th shit go away, they'd be fine. And I think that the whole raiding this house for these presidential documents was,
Big mistake.
I think it was a fishing expedition. They were looking for January 6th shit.
I don't know.
There's this notion of like that there's some sensitive nuclear, that anybody would let him near any sensitive nuclear shit, that he would even know what it is.
I'm sorry, but the fact that he is even in the White House is crazy.
No, I agree. But I mean,
Well,
what
there's stuff on Macron too, I think, right? Yeah, stuff on Macron, stuff between the pardon and Roger Stone, apparently, and nuclear shit. That's what I heard. That's what I understood. Which I was
Again-
like, if I was Macron, I'd be so worried.
again, it's like, you know,
I would be worried.
does that warrant a fucking, like, a high-profile FBI
don't
raid
know.
on the former president's house?
I don't
And
know.
as much as you hate Trump and you know,
It's not, I
that's
don't
what-
even hate him.
Yeah.
I think he's hilarious. But I just think like, I just don't, I think the presidential protection suit is bullshit. I think if anything, he should be
totally
more
agree.
on,
I
I think
totally
he should
agree.
be more on the
I
fucking.
totally agree, but you know what? I can see what happens now in 2024. Trump, and this just turns into this fucking petty ass tit for tat bullshit. They're trying to disqualify him from running for president again. That's all they're
No,
doing.
they're only qualifying like this.
They're only qualifying like because like and they said it. The Constitution is very clear on this, and it says all it says is he's got to be 35, have lived in the United States for the past 12 years, and be an American citizen. He qualifies for all those things. It doesn't say anything about convictions. It doesn't say anything about anything. There's the 25th Amendment and the 14th Amendment that they're trying to say are.
Yeah, that it would.
The 14th Amendment was after the Civil War, and it's very clearly aimed at secessionists.
Yeah.
Right. And like. This is what they tried to argue that January 6th was
An insurrection
an
or-
insurrection,
yeah,
and a rebellious act.
And
Which
it
is
disqualifies you from running again because you're a traitor.
you're on extremely thin ice there.
I don't know.
And then the
think
25th Amendment that you're not fit for the office because you're not mentally competent, but you have to be president for the 25th Amendment to apply, because the 25th Amendment says that the president's cabinet can meet and decide that he's not competent enough to run, and then
So
they can
if you
appoint
have
the
a
vice
cabinet, you
president.
have to be a president. So
Exactly.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I just don't see. I think they're just really. I honestly, I think it's like a distraction, and I think they keep thinking that the more, like, if they didn't know after that grabbed him by the pussy tape didn't fucking kill him, that he was just gonna get away with whatever the fuck. To keep doing shit to him and have him keep getting away with it just makes him stronger.
Yeah.
He's like John Gotti, man.
Well, you know what? Maybe the Republicans learned that from Clinton, because Clinton was like the bad boy. Everyone, he got sexy for it, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
that-
they did do that. You would think that the Democrats would have learned from what the Republicans did to Clinton,
you know?
because they did that to
They
Clinton.
did that and it didn't
They
work.
went fucking after him on that Whitewater shit for
It didn't
fucking
work.
years and years,
It
and they had to get him on a blowjob. You know what I mean? They got him for the blowjob. I mean, he got a blowjob. Okay, whatever. Most powerful man in the fucking world, and chicks dig that. And he had this young girl who gave him a blowjob, and okay, boo-hoo. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I mean, they were horrible to that woman, Monica Lewinsky. Totally fucked up. But I mean, that's all they could get him on, and all it did was make him stronger.
Yeah.
And you would think that they would have learned that, and all they're doing is making Trump strong. I mean,
I
like,
think Democrats got spoiled with Clinton because they were like, what's with this guy? And his charisma killed it, and it pissed off Republicans the
Yeah.
same way Trump.
Trump is pissing everybody off now. I mean, they put, like, there was a fucking ad, like, from the Wyoming fucking Congress race. Dick Cheney. Did you see that? Dick Cheney. Oh my God, man. Talking about, like, with a straight face, talking about a man who lied and tried to steal an election from a man who lied and actually stole an election. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking unbelievable. You know what I mean? So
I like Trump's little ad he came out with the next day after the raid. That was good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And this is the thing, there, like, it's, you know, he's got fucking tons of fucking money. You know what I mean? He'll buy an ad on Fox News, and then everybody else will show it.
Yeah.
Like CNN and
Which is so
MSNBC.
smart.
They're not going to show
He
it.
only pays once for advertising.
Yeah, and everybody else will show it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he buys an advertising on a friendly news source, and then everybody around the fucking internet. I mean, these people don't understand. I don't know how, but they don't understand how the modern media works. I understand it better than they fucking do. You know what I mean?
Maybe they just don't care because they're selling shit anyways too.
I suppose, like, in the end of the day, they really don't care. I mean, it doesn't really matter because they're still coining it. They're
He's
still
good for business.
Yeah, and he is good for business. He's kept the media alive for the last, you know, the mainstream sort of news media, the MSNBCs and CNNs and the Foxes. He's kept them alive. There was a failing business model that just Trump's very existence has you know, given like another like sort of 8 years of run.
Even for comedians.
Yeah, and comedians, he's destroyed comedy, like, because now any comedian like there's like comedians who get up and just make Trump jokes for like 20 minutes, and it's just not funny, man.
He's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I just think it's.
He should give master classes on being a shit stirrer.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm really glad I don't live in the States anymore. I don't think I would have been sucked into the brainwashing shit. But I normally have been pretty much how I am now. I've really just been very mistrustful of, you know, the mainstream story. I've always looked for.
But if you're immersed in that shit and it's
But,
heavy
yeah.
and people are talking to you every day,
You're surrounded
you're
by
gonna start yelling at people
Yeah.
for nothing. It's hot.
Yeah. This is the first time I've talked about it since last week. I mean, like somebody, I think somebody mentioned it to me, and I just changed the subject in the bar.
But you know what's gonna not work
Yeah.
is when the effects of like, you know, like the current status of the world, like, I mean, the fact like ice is bothering me right now, that we can't get ice delivered properly at a regular price. But
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happens when you can't get milk, baby formula?
Well,
all
this
those-
is the thing. Yeah. And like.
That's when people don't care about Trump and they start going,
No,
I'm hungry.
I'm telling you, it's fucking 3 hot meals. A revolution is only 3 hot meals away. You know, I can't remember who said that. I think it might have been Lenin.
Yeah, he said
I must look it up because it's definitely somebody
Somebody you like?
somebody I like who's
Okay.
much smarter than me said it. I think it might have been Lenin. Vladimir Ilyich, Ilyich.
Comrade Lenin.
Comrade. V.I. Lenin, not John Lennon. Donnie. I have the Wallens.
Can you take a little break?
Yeah, we'll take a break. checking 2 here on mic 2. Check 1, check 2. Check 1, check 2, check 1, check 2. This is the after dumping the microphone transmitter into a bucket of dirty, fucking, nasty fucking water. So hopefully both microphones are working and we can proceed on as normal. That is all.